Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to ride the Roger Waters traffic train to Subscriber Town. Woo, woo. We can do more Roger Waters news. I'm just going to do it. I don't care, because I know it gets engagement. The algorithm likes it. You like it. Anyway, Roger Waters loves David Gilmour. It's true. It's true. There was a tweet yesterday from Mr. Roger Waters. I shall read it to you. I shall read it to you. Here it is. This is a note from Roger. There's a crappy article in the New Statesman written, if you can call it writing, by a chap called Stuart McConey. Wait a minute, I got a clip for that.
Hello, I'm Stuart McConey, and I love 1973.
Hey, I actually thought about this one. For context, Stuart McConey is, well, I think he's a fairly well regarded broadcaster and journalist whose specialism is, well, 1973. And what was released in 1973? Don't huff when I'm making videos. That's what the other one used to do. Sorry. Dogcam. Where is Dogcam? I appear to have lost Dogcam. Wait a minute, we can do Dogcam. There we go. It's all. There we go. She's giving me a black and white look. There you go. But yeah, Stuart McConey's fairly well respected in journalism and that. He says it's the usual shit-stirring, ill-informed nonsense. However, there is in the article something upon which need to set the record straight. When talking about a new recording I've made of Dark Side of the Moon, he writes with an unearned condescending authority about the process of making this new recording, and I quote, part of this will involve him removing, as quoted in Spain's El Paz newspaper, Gilmour's horrible guitar solos. Now, I don't know who he thinks quoting when he says Gilmour's horrible guitar solos, but it sure as shit ain't me. I was there. I loved Dave's guitar solos on Dark Side of the Moon, both of them, and on Wish You Were Here, and on Animals, and on The Wall, and on The Final Cut. In my, albeit biased view, Dave's solos on those albums constitute a collection of some of the very best guitar solos in the history of rock and roll. So, Stuart McConey, you little prick, next time please check your copy with the subjects of your grubby little piece before you go to print. Love, R. Oh, it's a bit harsh, that. So I looked up the New Statesman piece, and indeed McConey wrote this piece, I think it was last week, about what I've been covering about the war within Pink Floyd, and I think it's a fairly well written piece. Again, it goes on about Roger Waters' little beef with Polly Sampson and David Gilmour, and over the years you can read it, it's out there, and how he's pro-China, pro-Russia, anti-West rhetoric, the whole usual thing, and he's fairly thorough in his analysis of the current situation, and he does actually mention this piece in El Paz, I think that's how you say it, which is a Spanish newspaper. He he references from there. So again, for those of you who aren't in the know, don't know this, Roger Waters has re-recorded Dark Side of the Moon because it's something for him to do. It's the anniversary year. Hey, what the hell? And again, previously, it's quite interesting because previously, Dear Roger took ownership of the entire album. And again, I covered that in the previous video. Most people were on side. Again, it was just the sheer brass neck of him taking ownership for what we all appreciate to be a team effort. There are many people involved in the birth of that record, not just Roger Waters. So it's quite interesting to see him do a kind of a 180 turn on this and show his appreciation of David Gilmour's guitar solos. He needn't say that. On the and this is, like I say, the El and it's a similar thing. It's about the tweet situation between Waters, Sampson, and Gilmour, and by Diego A. Manrique. Now, this is the fella who should have got the ire. I think McConey, again, he's gone through this, and he does again. This guy, it covers the same ground about Waters' strange attitude, especially to the Floyd's charity song for Ukraine, "Hey Hey Rise Up." He mentions that, and again, the very last line in the piece is, Waters now face vetoes. For example, he cannot perform in Poland, though in March he will play Madrid and Barcelona. He has resigned himself to living off his past, having milked the wall. He's not wrong, this fella. He will soon return to the celebrated Dark Side of the Moon, which is re-recorded with the lines that promise to clarify his politics, and without Gilmour's horrible guitar solos. Where did that come from? Again, in the interview he did with, oh crikey, was it the Telegraph? He doesn't call them horrible. He says rock and roll guitar solos. There are no rock and roll guitar solos. So I'm not sure where this word horrible comes from. Where did it come from? Maybe it was just it could be a translation issue. Because we're doing Spanish into English. Maybe Diego read the Telegraph piece and there's a mistake here. But yeah, poor old Stuart, he's copping it. Diego gets off scot-free. But if you can, read all the articles, because it's all rather interesting. But yeah, it's quite amusing to see old Rog show his appreciation of Dave now, Davy Boy Gilmour. But again, Gilmour's more than guitar solos, isn't he? There's more to him than just that. Didn't he do some guitar solos on "Wish You Were Here" as well? I don't think he mentioned "Wish You Were Here." I'm sure there's a very important guitar bit on "Wish You Were Here." But it's the battle. The battle trundles on. But is this a white flag? Is this a truce? Could it be that Waters is softening? Because he does want to release that a tribute, I don't know, parody, what would you call it? The Dark Side of the Moon Waters version. And again, I think he's within his rights to re-record it. There's no issue there. But I think, again, for me and a lot of the fans or people that appreciate Pink Floyd, it's him taking ownership of the entire work that's the issue there. Because again, it was a team effort. Richard Wright has a few writing credits on it. Claire Torrey has a writing credit for the vocal line she provides. Gilmour as well. It's very much a team effort before Waters branched out on his own with things like The Wall and The Final Cut. So I think that's where we're a little bit aggrieved. And again, the remaining band of Mason and Gilmour have every right to block him, to veto this release, to say no, we don't want it, because it could be regarded as passing off. Remember, you've got the anniversary year, you've got this big overpriced box set that's coming out, and they could say no, it will only confuse the fans, you're going to have to hold it back till next year or later in the year. And they'd be well within their rights to do that. I think that's very reasonable. I mean, it is unusual for a member of a band to do this. It's like I'm trying to think of a comparison. It's 2023, so let's think of an album from 1973. Selling England by the Pound, Genesis. It's like Peter Gabriel saying, I wrote all of that, and re-recording Selling England by the Pound and releasing it under his own name in the anniversary year It's 50 years of that, isn't it? 73. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. But imagine if that would happen. Imagine. Couldn't it? It could happen. It'd be pretty bonkers. So yeah, but maybe he's softening. Maybe this is him attempting to hold out an olive branch to Gilmour. I don't know, because he wants his version of Dark Side of the Moon released. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? It's gone rather quiet. Apart from him kicking out at poor Stuart McConey. Again, I think his article is very. I think it's a very good summation of what's gone on, and it's behind a paywall, but I could probably put a link in the description if you want to read it. And I've always liked McConey. He's I don't see him deserving being called those rude words. So very rude, very rude, very rude. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Darren Locke. I've been milking the Roger Waters throwing his toys out of the pram tour 2023 for all it's worth, because I like the clicks. The clicks equal money. It's not about subs. People say, yeah, but you've only got so many. No, it's about the views. Views equal money, and I like money, so I like views. And if you did enjoy this, on the slim chance that you did enjoy this video, I suppose you could subscribe. You could if you wanted to. I don't get really, I don't really get my jollies off the subs thing. But if you want, I prefer if you gave me money, because I'm going to be honest about it. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is, well, don't insult me in the comments, because I'm just going to delete them. You can make your point without being insulting. Come on, let's be civil now. Come on. And we don't want any Putin love in the comments either, because that's just daft. You don't want to be on the wrong side there. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Only one more thing left to say. By now you should know what that is. And that is prog on.